I am your host, TaSh, and this is Women in Games International's podcast, Cheat Codes. Now, social media and streaming gives us access to so many people that we would not typically have access to. And it puts them on our screens and sometimes in the palms of our hands on our devices. So even as a viewer, I get a little thrill when someone who's streaming or going live acknowledges me. The fact that the producer of my favorite game is accessible through something as simple as a tweet can break the fourth wall in a way. There is a good and a bad side to all of this, as with all things. So today we have with us MamaTamago. Will you please introduce yourself to the listeners?
Yeah, of course. Hi, everyone. My name is MamaTamago, otherwise known as Wendy, pronouns she, her. I will say I am a content creator. I now feel comfortable saying that, but mostly I create content Twitch for my Just Chatting streams and community games. And outside of that, I do a lot of short form video content on YouTube and TikTok. And I'm just always on Twitter because it just reels me in. But I do a mix of different mediums. Whenever I do more outside content, it's more toward or geared towards like tips, tricks, and tutorials on how to improve your streams.
That's awesome. So, what's been the best part of the past 12 months for you? It could be something big or something small.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Past 12 months, I actually got to attend my very first TwitchCon as a content or Twitch streamer and content creator.
Yes, that's where I
And
saw you.
yeah. Oh, yeah. It was amazing. And I think that experience, it's one of those things where you have to go to really feel what's happening in that room.
Mhm.
But what I found magical out of that was that I've never been in a physical space where I can just feel the creativity, I can feel the excitement, where everybody there is basically there to one thing, and that is to make good content. And that magic and that spark just isn't found in your own room when you're alone, like talking to
Yeah.
your webcam. Like that, it's just so beautiful.
What I found interesting is that when I first started using Twitch, people were always talking about community, and
Yeah.
I didn't relate or understand that until I went to TwitchCon,
Yeah.
and it clicked. I said, "Oh, there is a community aspect of it," and I understand that now. So that was pretty. I'm really glad I get to go.
Yeah, I would say out of all the social media platforms, Twitch is the best at forming a community. And maybe I'm a little biased as a Twitch streamer, but all my other platforms, sure, there are communities there, but Twitch just really, within the platform itself, like they were able to make it so that it is so community focused.
I love that. It makes me happy.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first game or topic you've ever streamed?
Yes, I do remember the first game. This is when Fall Guys just released and everybody and their moms were playing Fall Guys.
I
So
did.
one
I
of
played
my,
Fall
yeah.
Guys.
One of my first streams was I streamed straight from the PlayStation 4 with whatever webcam they have, and I have a little circle with the
Oh,
earbud piece and the controller. That was one of my first streams, and I got a crown during that stream. At that time, it was like me and Nightbot watching. Nightbot was there.
Nightbot knows.
Yeah, Nightbot was there for me when all of
Yeah.
y'all weren't.
So was streaming, was this or content creation was something that you've always wanted to do, or did it just spark from an idea?
Yeah, obviously I would not want the pandemic to happen. Obviously I don't want shelter in place to happen, but because that happened and because we were like months into shelter in place, I'm based in Los Angeles, so our city took it pretty seriously
Yeah.
in that we were all at our homes. Throughout that time, I found a lot of different hobbies. I made some sourdough bread, I made lasagna from scratch, I made clay pins, I learned some UI UX design, and I naively thought that Twitch streaming was just going to be, oh, another 2 week hobby that I'm going to try then drop, like all the other hobbies. Like, I have so much yeast in my cabinet, like, I don't know what I'm going to do with it because it's not about to be sourdough bread anytime soon. So I don't know. But Twitch streaming, my partner actually got me one of those like video capture devices for $15 on Amazon or something, and we connected it to the Switch. At that time, I was also playing Animal Crossing like it was my job, spending 6+ hours, and it was just, oh, since you like doing this, why don't you try streaming? And I did, and now it's been over 2 years, and I still really loving it.
Yeah. So, what do you find joyful about it? What kind of excites you about it?
I'm someone with a lot of different interests, so besides all of those different hobbies I took on, I'm also really interested in art. So I do digital art, watercolor. When I was learning graphic design or UI, UX design, I was like, I'm just a learner, I think, and Twitch streaming really is the perfect place for me to combine all of my interests. So I design my own emotes, badges, overlays. I learn how to do graphic designs whenever you're marketing something. You got to make sure your hierarchy is right. I really do talking to people, and especially during that time, I felt so disconnected from
Mhm.
the whole world. I'm sure I'm not unique in that feeling. I'm sure with that, I was introduced to this project where I can put all of my creative energy that I had into this one focused outlet, and I was able to meet people right away. I was able to play games, and I do enjoy playing games, and I was like, "Oh, I guess this is just perfect." Not blob. I shouldn't describe my Twitch channel as a blob. The perfect blob of all of my interest. And because we're always building, we're always trying to be better, it's been able to capture my attention for this long.
I love that you explained it as something where you could bring so many different parts of
Mm-hmm.
yourself, and because that's how we connect to other people. But also,
Yeah.
speaking of connecting other people, I saw a video of yours where you say that people complain about parasocial
Mm-hmm.
relationships, but you want people to know your bathroom schedule. So
Oh
I
yeah, of
know, I know
course.
that that was tongue in cheek, which I found hilarious. But what do you think about how we're exploring these parasocial relationships
Mm-hmm.
now?
Yeah, it's so tricky. I did a little research before this. I was like, wait, let me Google parasocial relationships before I'm just like spouting out whatever nonsense I say about it. But basically, it breaks down as a one-sided relationship where someone might be creating content, someone might be a movie star, they're
Right.
doing something, and you have these real feelings towards them, whether you're proud of them, whether you're cheering them on, or you're sad that they're doing another project, but the movie star or the person that you are looking towards do not know you exist.
Right.
And I feel like with Twitch streaming, it does get a little deeper than that, because if you are actively chatting in chat, most likely the creator will know that you exist. Unless they have a bajillion viewers and you just can't read chat. But most likely you are able to know that, oh, this person does exist. Now, to the level of actually knowing who they are, probably not so much, unless maybe they also create content that you follow. So I feel like that's where it gets a little blurry, and why a lot of Twitch streamers do have these issues with parasocial relationships that might go sour.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's so tricky. I think about this a lot because the industry that we are in, we are trying to form real connections. We are trying to elicit real responses. And that is how you promote yourself. That is how you grow your community. But then you have to also really set boundaries and make it known that, hey, this is not like an actual, I don't actually know you, but
Yeah. And I understand on some level, because it is an escape for so many people. Watch
yes.
someone stream, that they feel as if that creator has to be held up to a particular standard. Like, this is the role you fit in my life, and
Yeah.
that's important to me, and that's heavy.
Yes, it's that's one thing that I didn't really realize going into content creation, is that you, like, we throw the words around like influencer, content creator, but you are someone that people look to toward for direction. So
Right.
whatever you say, whatever you stand for, whatever you like support, means something. And it's not it doesn't mean something if you aren't in the public space, but as a public figure, it is now magnetized or not mag what am I trying to say?
Magnified, I think.
Magnified.
Yes.
That's the word. This is what happens when I try to say words I don't actually know. Oh, but your actions are now like tenfold or however many fold versus if you didn't have this public platform.
Is there a point when it gets scary?
Oh, yeah. Sometimes, so I will say I have been very lucky in that I have not experienced like a particular specific person doing terrible parasocial relationship stuff. That sounds not a good wrap up. But like I haven't really experienced targeted harassment or
Right.
targeted stalking or all the bad stuff that happens with parasocial relationships. All of the harassment I do face is mostly just no profile, no name trolls that just go everywhere they can.
With too much
And
time on their hands.
yeah, it's fine. Just block, delete, block, delete. Like, I don't know who they
Right.
are. But it does get scary in that as I'm doing this, I feel like I'm now learning more and more stories or experiences of my friends who are content creators go through. And then I'm just like, oh, they're only one step away from me. This isn't like a big name streamer that sure this will happen to them just based on how many people watch them. This is like someone
Right.
that I regularly talk to. We have the same audience size. Like this can happen. And I do take steps in protecting myself. But at the end of the day, not that if it's gonna happen, I should just deal with it. It's so hard to put into words because obviously I don't want this to happen. And
Right.
obviously, like, I'm doing all that I can. But if someone is very not willing, they're so intent on causing harm, they're going to cause harm. And at that point, I will have to probably reevaluate some things. But I'm one of those people that tries not to dwell on things that might happen, like the
Right.
negative things that might happen, until they actually happen, because then I'm just stuck in this anxiety spiral of what if?
I
And
get
then
that. Yeah.
yeah.
I don't have a following for Twitch. My
Hmm.
following is from TikTok. And with TikTok, you never know what's going to be the thing that makes everyone mad.
Yep.
And it's never something that's real. For
Yeah.
instance, the video that I made that got everyone mad, I said if you go outside or if you go to a shopping mall and you look around, wearing blue pants.
Uh-huh.
So that was my
That was
video.
it?
Just a random
That
observation
I
that
was
we're
waiting for part two. Yes,
right,
yes. And then what?
we're all wearing blue pants, and
Uh,
no real reason for it to regard it as a neutral right now.
uh-huh.
And people lost their minds. There were people
Oh,
making rebuttal videos. There was one woman who
yeah.
made 10 videos replying to me saying I was gaslighting her. There was
Oh,
uh
wow.
there was a Discord server created to get me to be
No.
taken off of TikTok.
Okay. Wow.
And people were just going through my
Wow.
content and mass reporting because of
Uh,
blue pants.
I
Of all the
that's
things.
that's very upsetting to hear. I think are you based in the United States as
I
well?
am.
Okay, so
Yes.
another thing as like a black woman of color, like creating content, I do think we have to take into the fact that in
Yes.
the United States there is a history of like anti-blackness, and then now you're also a woman, so like intersectionality also comes into play. A creator, you aren't creating in a vacuum, and I think
Right.
unfortunately even something that is so innocent as pant colors, at the surface level, it might be like, oh, people are just mad because they love their white pants, but there might be some deeper resentment that the people who are making these targeted videos need to
Yes.
unpack there. And it's not for you to unpack, it's not for you to deal with or anything, but I do think about that as I'm creating and how my message looks
Yes.
as an Asian woman living in America.
Especially on these more visible platforms, it's undeniable that there is bias there.
Yep.
And that's sometimes what complicates those parasocial relationships
Yep.
because either someone is relying on you to be an authority, whatever
Mhm.
you present
Yep.
as, or they're targeting you because of that.
Yep. Yeah, it's Another thing I didn't really think about, I'm just gonna play Fall Guys for the first time. And as you're going along, you start to learn these lessons. I guess they're lessons, but you start to realize, oh, I'm not creating in a vacuum. Oh, what I create is going to be viewed differently just because of who I am. And on
Yes.
the flip side of things, I think when we think about parasocial relationships, we do think that is 100% negative. But on the flip side of things, we have people who are consuming content and now they are seeing people that have the same background as them, who looks like
Right.
them, doing the thing that aren't traditionally occupied in that space. Like I don't know the actual numbers on it, so but I can probably confidently say that most Twitch streamers, content creators are probably white. They're probably male. So
Yes.
just based on occupying a white male dominated space, like we're going to cause waves and ripples, even if you're just saying that pants are blue. Like,
Yes.
uh,
It's very interesting to me. And even
mm-hmm.
as someone who just kind of goes from different video, just watching different things, reading the comments that the bots don't catch. And I think, why is that person here?
Yeah, it's I then we're just like now we're spending too much energy trying to unpack their whole thing, but
Right.
and that's what so when I first started creating, I was not used to the type of attention that I would get for my videos because before start streaming, I didn't make any content for the public. It was usually just for the people that I actually knew. So
Right.
then when I started getting comments from those folks who I didn't actually know but they were negative, emotionally, I was still reading those comments as if it came from people that I know from my real life. And that took a lot for me to undo in my brain. I had to really learn that, hey, you don't know these people. They don't know you. It's okay to block. It's okay to block people if they clearly are having a negative reaction to your content. And it took me months to block my first person, but the sense of relief I felt, and
Yes.
I'm just like, oh my God, this is so easy. Everybody's going
Right.
now.
Realize it's
Like,
easy.
yeah, I
Yes.
felt guilty. Like they were not being nice. And for some reason, I was still taking their feelings into account. Like, why?
It's sometimes I think content creators do feel a level of responsibility and obligation also. So it's can't help but to take those comments or those
Mm-hmm.
interactions to heart
Yeah.
because of that. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so to counter that instead, and I think there's probably like a psychological term I learned at university where the negative sticks in your brain more so
Hmm.
than the positive. And I wish I knew the term, but and that I can sense that it would happen. I can get hundreds of positive comments and the one negative, that's just what sticks in my mind.
True.
So instead of focusing on the negative comment, I actually now take screenshots of the positive, like the especially positive comments, and I have a special folder of just good vibes in there, and then I just fill that folder up with just positive things. And when I need it, I just open up that folder and I'm like, you know what, like you're doing okay. People are like they like what you're putting out, like you are making a positive change. And that has also really helped me keep a more healthy mental, I
Right.
guess, aspect of content creating.
That's actually a great idea.
Yeah,
How
just
else
screenshots.
do you create boundaries?
Yeah, I do keep a lot of my life private. So if they are people that I know in real life, I let them know, hey, people do know my first name, but last name they don't know my job. I do say I am based in Los Angeles just because it's a big enough city. But other than that, I keep things very vague and private on what I'm doing. If I am attending an event, I actually wait the next day to post that I'm there. I keep that separation so that we do have a buffer. I other boundaries would just be during my stream. I actually run a family friendly stream, and it's because I don't curse in my real life, so it's not any harder
Right.
for me to do that. But because of that, I think that has helped filter or protect the space a little bit. And that's not to say I can't have hard conversations or real conversations, but it does, I think it does help filter some of that out. Other boundaries, I'm trying to think. probably like messaging boundaries. Unless I know you, I don't believe you can message me, or if you do, I just block or I just don't read them. So just keeping that space and not being available like 24/7.
That's also key. Do you have people who try to reach out to you with just overly personal things about themselves?
No, I must have a very uncommon content creation journey. And I don't know how this had happened. I didn't intentionally seek out to not have this stuff, but honestly, no one has reached out to me with something overtly personal, something super inappropriate.
That's good.
And
That's really good.
yeah, but then when people ask me like are you able to do this, I don't have a concrete answer of I did this and this is what happened.
Right.
And I don't know if it's just because the online image I put out for MamaTamago, people really don't know, and I don't have an answer to this, especially as a woman creator. We're inundated with inappropriate messages, but
Right.
quite honestly, I am not. And this is not an invitation to test that.
Yes, please
Like,
don't. Yes,
this is
please.
not, oh,
No.
Mama Tamako wants these messages, let me show her. Like,
I've been saving these for years.
yeah, like I just needed to go. This isn't an invitation, obviously, but I honestly can't give you an answer on why, and maybe it's the content I produce is like tips, like tips and tricks. What are people going to say? And as unfortunate as it is, and you can post whatever you want online, and I don't believe like you can post your bare body, and that does not mean you get or that does not mean people are allowed to send you inappropriate messages, right? But I guess my posts don't elicit that response. I really don't know.
Yes. It's very interesting to me how it works because not everyone feels overly familiar, but the few that do seem to make such a big impact on people.
Yeah, and yeah, I don't have a good answer. Like maybe
Right.
if I dug more in my analytics, I can see like maybe the age range is a little skewed, but I really don't know. And I haven't done like a survey of like, why haven't I got any creepy messages? Yeah, it's very interesting, and it might just be the algorithm just grouping bad messages like Twitter showing your post to not your audience. And
Right.
oh, actually, maybe that's what it is. I have been able to find a way to train the social media algorithm to show my content to those who actually want to see it. Like, it's pretty defined on who wants to see my videos. And
Right.
and because of that, I don't get a lot of those stray one-off comments. I do still get some, but it's not like constant.
Oh, that's great. So you found like this is my space.
Yeah,
And
I
you
think I've
right.
trained the algorithm enough. Hey, these people want to see my stuff. And like, for example, I have heard that people have had really bad interactions on TikTok. And I will say my interactions on TikTok has been overwhelmingly positive. And
Oh,
that's
that's
not a
great.
common story. And
True.
maybe it's because my TikTok audience, like TikTok is such Wild West as
Yes.
like my audience or follower size isn't as big as the other TikTokers, so maybe that's where it also helps. But yeah, a lot of guessing, and that's why. I don't like to not provide like concrete answers. Like I want to help people. I want to be like, this is
Right.
exactly what you do. But I think it's a mix of that. Maybe my age. I can't imagine creating content as someone who is in high school or college. I am now this year I'm turning 30, so I feel like I have a better understanding of how I want to present myself, a better understanding on how I can handle situations just based on experience.
Yes. And like you said before, you do keep your personal life out of this. The focus is the content and the subject of the content. And I think that
Yeah.
definitely helps.
Yeah, it's so tricky. I was thinking about this because I knew we were going to talk about it. And for Twitch streamers, you almost want to invite people to your personal life because when you do, and I'm not saying all Twitch streamers do this for subs or for bits, but when you elicit an emotional response from people, they are more likely to subscribe to you, give you bits, and give you money. And then, so if people see that, hey, when I share that I did this one thing or share more emotional stuff, like I get a positive response both in like the messages I'm seeing, but also a monetary positive response.
Right.
That I think is where it can get a little slippery slope of maybe you're oversharing now. Or, but then I don't want to say oversharing because people can do what they want. But maybe that is where it can get a little bit more slippery. I will also say I am someone who does have a full-time job outside of content creating that can pay my bills. So I do have that safety net, I
That hard
suppose.
boundary
Yeah,
as with
where
you.
it's
Yeah.
like, no, I'm not going to do this for this. You're out of here. And it's because I'm not relying on content creation to pay my bills. And that's
Right.
not everyone's case. So, very tricky.
I get that. So you said you have a full-time job. You do this. Do you have to turn it off and on? You have to
Mm-hmm.
create balance. This is now I'm the content creator, and now
Uh-huh.
I'm at
Mm-hmm.
Starbucks.
Yeah,
Is there an off and on
yeah.
switch?
Yeah, so I actually was talking about this, a little self plug here, but I also interview my friends. I bring them onto my talk show series, and I made a realization on the last episode that when I'm Mama Tamago, it's when the camera's on, is when the mic is on, when here right now I'm Mama Tamago. But once that camera's off, or once I'm not at an event like TwitchCon or something, I become Wendy, who is Mama Tamago's assistant. She's the
Oh,
one,
yes.
Wendy handles all of Mama Tamago's socials, editing, all the social media stuff. And with that, I'm able to create, I guess, a separation, and it's not as exhausting.
Yeah, yeah.
For me, I'm an introvert. I get nervous, I have
Same. Yes.
anxiety, but for some reason, I'm able for at least a couple of hours trick people into thinking that I am confident. I know what I'm talking about. I
Yes.
am able to do all of this stuff. And um that separation for me is very helpful. And Mama Tamago is a more polished version of myself. I don't share a lot of the stuff that I am going through in real life because I want to keep that separation for me personally. And when I was at TwitchCon, I was Mama Tamago for like 3 days straight, minus when I was sleeping, and that was exhausting.
Did you crash when you came back? Did
I
you just like hibernate?
I just could not. Some pockets, like I might find myself an hour of time just like alone, and I'd just be quiet. And I'd just be like eating. I'm like, I cannot do this. Or after I came back, I probably was quiet for a very long time, just like sitting there. I do that with my streams as well. After I end stream, I just sit there and I'm just like, I just can't do anything.
Yes. I call them like singing vocal rest because I
Yes.
have kids and
Mm,
3 and they want to talk and I say, okay,
yeah.
let's set a timer because I'm
Yeah.
taking 33 minutes of vocal
Uh-huh.
rest. And they're like, okay.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's hard. I don't know if I go about this like the most healthy way. There are probably things I can do differently, but that separation has definitely helped in terms of just like I'm not always on. But I will say, Wendy, my assistant, she is always thinking about content. She is nonstop in the back of her mind, always thinking about that. So, in a way, it is always on, but the performance aspect
Right.
of it is not.
I get that. That way that's rest and that's self-care also.
Yeah, sometimes I'm just like,
Sometimes no.
okay, sometimes I'm just like, okay, not everything has to be content. Not everything. It's okay. You can play this game without doing a let's play of it. Like, just play the game. I don't know if, or do you also do video game content on TikTok
I
or?
I tried. I have not the time or the patience to
Mm.
figure out how to translate it.
Uh-huh, yeah, yeah.
But I have the desire, but just I'm hoping maybe in the summer I could
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
because that would be so fun. And when I went to TwitchCon and I went to
Mm-hmm.
PAX, people from TikTok were recognizing me
Yeah.
and that meant a lot to me, and I got
Uh-huh.
really emotional because the whole time I'm in these spaces, I'm looking for people who look like me, and it makes me sad when I realize I'm the only one.
Yeah.
But then on the reverse side of that, there are other people who are looking at me for confirmation.
Mm-hmm.
This is a safe space for them
Right.
also.
Yep.
So I had to change my worldview
Mm-hmm.
about that.
Yeah, that must have been awesome to be recognized in a way. Oh wow, like I can't believe
Yes.
people know me outside of their phones.
Right.
And like making content honestly is very isolating, which is really interesting because we're making content to connect to
Right.
people or we're making content so that others can connect. But the act of doing it, at least for me, I'm in my room alone filming whatever, playing whatever, and it is pretty isolating.
It
So
is.
to have that convention space or whatever where people are coming up to you, be like, hey, I recognize you, I really value your work. I know we shouldn't get external validation from others and we should have that, but it is nice, okay?
Yes. It is
It is
nice.
nice. And it is worth it. Of course, not 100%, but it is nice
True.
to have that and be like, okay, that was all not for nothing. I made a positive impact.
I feel so embarrassed most of the time
Mm.
because in public spaces I am more shy,
Mm.
introverted, and it's hard for people to make that connection. No, but
Yeah.
you're not shy. I just watched your videos.
That was like 1 minute. Like
Right, that was
for 1 minute,
1 minute.
I can. Yeah, very
Yeah,
true. Very true.
I turned that
Yeah.
off.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Yeah, I will say making content has made me more confident and has made me I feel like I speak better. I before if you told me I had to do a presentation in front of a room of 5 people, sweaty everywhere, sweaty, panic the day before, 10 minutes before, during, like it was just bad. And now I do have more experience talking to people. I feel like I am able to have conversations. I have that in my wheelhouse, and that has been really cool to see evolve. And also in practice, like at TwitchCon or future events, or even this podcast. Like, if I did this before I started streaming, oh, I would be so nervous.
I still get nervous, so even before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
real as the host, you have
Yeah,
all the
and
power.
I get nervous. I also do stand-up comedy, and every single time I'm
Really?
incredibly nervous.
How long have you been doing stand up?
For about 5 years.
Wow, that's
Yes.
one. Oh, I have not done in-person performance, whether it's singing, stand-up, plays, and that really makes me nervous. And it's so silly because I'm like streaming or
Yes.
whatnot, but I'm like, no, this is different. This is a brand new thing. I'm now freshly anxious about it. Uh, but that's so cool. Okay. Yeah.
It's weird for me because as soon
Uh-huh.
as I get off stage, it's like someone's flipped a switch and
Yeah.
I'm done because I
Yeah.
gave all of that social energy on
Right.
stage. So when
Uh-huh.
there's a meet and greet or something afterwards, digging, scraping the bottom of the
Mm-hmm.
pot or,
Yeah.
or whatever's
Yeah.
left over, I'm done.
Uh-huh. I also think so. Speaking of parasocial relationships, I think because people see you as your content, as your polished version of yourself, that is what they have in mind. So then when they meet you at these meet and greets or not, when you're MamaTamago, they're seeing this other side of you that they don't know, and that might be a little
Right.
jarring if they do meet you in person, or that might not live up to their expectations
Oh,
because
yes.
people have expectations of who you're gonna be. I'm sure once you immediately say you do stand up, the first thing maybe a stranger will say is, tell me a joke. It's
All
like,
the
okay, well,
time.
first of all, I'm not performing. You need to pay me.
Yeah.
Second of all, you can't afford it. So, like, immediately, or if I were to, I don't know if I would tell people I'm a Twitch streamer because for those who aren't in the know, I don't think they understand what we're doing and it's hard to explain, but
Yes.
they have all these different expectations, connotations of what you do put on you when you say you're a Twitch streamer without even seeing your
Mhm.
content. And then
No,
now,
and no questions asked.
yeah,
And you're
no,
like, that's not it.
yeah, like that. So, in a sense, that's also part of the parasocial relationship. I don't know. I'm trying to think of creators who do present 100% them to the platform, and I think they are very brave. And
Yes.
it must be so much and takes a lot of their time and energy. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that or want to do that, quite frankly, because I wouldn't be able to handle it. I already feel like social media is draining me and taking every chunk they can. And that's with me being guarded of, no, you only get this.
Right.
And then to open that for everything, but it works for people. That's what they do. But I just find that very brave.
I do too. And it's awesome that people can carry that everywhere with them, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm fully aware that I'm not the same person. I know
Yeah.
when the performance is
Mm-hmm.
happening
Yep.
and when it's not. And for instance, when I was applying for jobs, I would write in a cover letter, I'm accidentally charismatic. because I'm fully aware that
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a charisma that I
Huh?
can turn on, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it on purpose. So
Uh-huh. Oh, that's another thing where like people watch you and they're like, "Oh, you're funny or you're charismatic." And I'm like, "Am I? I don't know." And to confront that and to be like, "Okay, no, I am these things. They are my qualities, but it's I guess if you want to really know yourself, if you really want to test yourself, become a content creator, if you want to make money, don't
do
do
not,
this.
right?
Do not do this for money." But
Right,
if you
because now it's
really,
in a different
yeah,
space.
yeah. If you really want to test yourself, though, if you really want to look deep, internal, like overthink every single thing and really learn about yourself, it might be a good way.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. When I first started streaming, I would just I was so quiet. I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
saying anything at all. I would just enjoy the game.
Yeah.
And I realized, oh, okay, so I should say something. I should talk to some people, and it's funny to me because I talk for a living, and I don't know
Yeah.
why I couldn't talk in the game that I was really enjoying.
Yeah, it's so different because when you're playing a game, usually you're just enjoying the game and the game is built to capture your attention. So
Yes.
now when you're playing the game for others on Twitch, you need to get out of that mode and be like, no, I'm an entertainer now.
Now I'm on.
Yeah, I
Yes.
need to capture the viewer's attention. Sure, the game will help, of course, but you also need to put in that work. And I think that's where a lot of people don't realize the hard work and energy that goes into all of this.
Right.
Sure, it looks easy to just yell when something pops up on your screen, but that takes talent, okay?
That
Not
does.
everyone can do it.
That is true. I think I shine the best when I play a game that I can argue with.
Yeah, yeah. So it's so complicated. It's so wonderful. I want to present this as not all negatives. I know we were talking about parasocial relationships and how scary it can be,
Right.
how it can really affect you. We touched a little bit about boundaries in mental health, and they are all of the perhaps more challenging parts of creating, but there are also so many great things with it, and that's why so many people want to pursue it because just that like glimmer of like you said something funny on stream and someone did a laughing emote, like
Yes.
more of that. Or you like made a TikTok and so many people could relate to it and it's just wow, and we're just
Yes.
constantly chasing that feeling or that sense of fulfillment. And quite honestly, like content creation has brought me a sense of fulfillment that I was missing before. I felt like I was just going through the motions of going to my job, watching whatever TV's on, cooking, and then going to my job again. Like it was
Yeah.
just whatever. But with content creation, I feel like I have more of a purpose
Yeah,
or
I get
more of
that.
a, yeah,
Yeah.
not to make it all woo, but more of something to work towards that is bigger than myself.
I consider being visible and
Mhm.
things that make us joyful, like video games or whatever content.
Yup.
I feel like that's an act of protest.
Yup.
And the more people who are like us can
Mm-hmm.
feel comfortable, because if you don't, then don't do it. But the
Yeah,
more
yeah, yeah.
people of us who feel comfortable making ourselves visible, it gives other people the opportunity to see
Yeah.
that this is a possibility. And I find that so revolutionary.
Yeah, it's so great. And as I'm knowing more people and as I'm seeing their creator path grow and they're getting all of these opportunities, I'm just like, yeah, we're doing it. And like whenever I see someone get some sort of sponsorships, I'm like, heck yeah, you did.
Yes.
That just means that there are like there is actual proof that there are sponsorship opportunities or whatever opportunities out there. Maybe it didn't land or maybe it didn't work out for you specifically in that time, but that doesn't mean there's not more out there. And
Yes.
that's just really encouraging. And I think another thing that has helped is surrounding yourself with other creators who do have the same type of goals and the same mind, or I don't know, mindset is the right word because we don't want to create like an echo chamber of sort,
Right.
but yeah, but same values, same like respect for one another, where maybe you don't agree on blue jeans, but you're able to talk about it and you're able to respect one another's opinions about it.
Yes. And some things are just made to laugh. Not
Yeah,
everything is.
yeah.
Some people want to argue so much. It's so weird.
It's well, that's a whole nother podcast.
That's a whole other podcast.
We don't want to go over there. It's
But
okay. It's okay.
what advice would you give to someone who's finding their public personality, so to speak?
Yeah, I think one, as silly or basic as it sounds, like just getting a pen and paper, like writing down your intentions of what you want to do with content creation and be real with yourself. You don't have to share this with anyone. You're only seeing this, or your Wendy assistant. I don't know. Be real with yourself. Don't hold back on what you want to do. Write down why you're doing this, and this can change. You don't have to keep to it. And I think just having that as a target or a goal is really helpful. It will then help you guide your decisions on what type of content you want to make, how you want to present yourself online, how you're going to do all of that. And I believe that's really helpful because I think a lot of the times, me myself included, I started without any of that, and it took me a bit to find my direction on what I want to do and what does actually bring me joy in the things that I create. So yeah, just pen and paper, write down and be honest with yourself on your intentions.
I like that. And I think one thing that they should know is to figure out what is just for them.
Yep.
And what's for everyone else.
Yes. 100%. You're probably going to be tempted to share everything, and some people do, and that's totally okay. But these are where the boundaries come in, where what do I keep to myself? What type of things do I share with others? And again, they can change as you're going along, and that is like your right to do.
So what's up next for you? How can people find you in the social media space or the podcast realm?
Yeah, again, my name is MamaTamago, twitch.tv/MamaTamago, but everywhere else, it's MamaTamago because there is another person out there who I think created something like years ago and took that handle, but it's okay, we're all good. So everywhere else, it's MamaTamago. I am mostly active on TikTok and Twitter, and depending on when this is live, I might actually be in Japan.
That's
hopefully
awesome.
eating something delicious.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, you made my mouth water.
Okay. We're gonna start a new podcast now where we just look at yummy foods and we're like, yes.
That'll make me so happy. So on that note, thank you for tuning in to Cheat Codes. Thank you to MamaTamago. I'm your host, TaSh, and to stay in the know with Women in the Games International, please visit us at getwiggy.com, subscribe to our newsletter, and you can also find us on every social media platform at GetWiggy. Take care, and we will chat soon.